Hi, my name's Lexi.
My name's Abby.
I'm Bishop, and we're doing our first introductional video on how to do a lunge.
The history of the lunge can actually be dated back to the 18th century during the fencing era, and it can go even further back to martial arts in Asian culture.
When a lunge is performed correctly, it can be felt in the glutes, hamstrings, calves, and especially the quads. No pain should be felt in the lower back or the knees. Also, there are many variations to the lunge, and we will be doing 2 of them in our video, standing lunge and walking lunge.
Standing lunge, you start standing with your feet together, then step forward, keeping your back straight vertically and bending your knee into a right angle. Then push with your quads back to standing position. For the walking lunge, you will step into a lunge but move forward instead of going back to a standing position. This is repeated in a series.
Also, for 2 of the progressions, one for standing lunge and one for walking lunge, 2 10-pound dumbbells are going to be used, one in each hand hanging straight down the body during the process.
The lunge is a gross motor skill and means it involves movement of large body parts or the whole body, and it requires less
It is
precision.
also a discrete and continuous motor skill. Discrete motor skills have distinct beginning and end points, and continuous motor skills have arbitrary beginning and end points.
And finally, the lunge is a closed skill, so it does not require the athlete or anyone to focus on outside forces while they are doing the lunge.
The third row of Gentili's multi-dimensional classification indicates that the objects, individuals, or/and environment during performance changes during the skill, and that there is no intertrial variability, which means the next attempt is the same.
Column A represents body stability with no object. Column B represents body stability with an object. Column C represents body transport with no object. And column D represents body transport with an object.
First, she's going to do a standing lunge, which is going to be Gentile's taxonomy 3A, because she's not doing any object manipulation and the environment is not changing. Now she's going to do a standing lunge with weights, which is going to be Gentile's taxonomy 3B, because she's manipulating an object.
For the third progression, she is doing a walking lunge, and this is part of Gentile's taxonomy 3C, because her body is moving but there is no object manipulation. For her fourth progression, she's doing a walking lunge with 2 10-pound dumbbells. This is in Gentile's taxonomy as 3D, because it is she's moving her body and manipulating an object, which is the 10-pound
All
weights.
4 progressions are done correctly. You should feel it in your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves, and your hamstrings. If you cannot feel one or more of these things, go back and look at the proper form of how to do a lunge to make sure you're doing it right when you're performing it. Once you go through it a couple more times, you'll be lunging on the floor.
Now remember what we learned today. There are 2 types of lunges, standing and walking. We showed how to do both of these alone and with dumbbell weights. For a standing lunge, you start standing with your feet together, then step forward, keeping your back straight vertically and bending your knees into a right angle. Then push with your quads back to standing position. When adding the weights, you just hold on in each hand and keep them straight by your side. For the walking lunge, you will step into a lunge but move forward instead of going back to a standing position. This is repeated in a series.
Understand the lunge and know how to do it properly, you can include it in your daily workouts. You did great with your learning today. Just remember to keep practicing, and you too will soon master the lunge.
Thank you all for watching our instructional teaching video today on how to do a standing and a walking lunge.
Make sure to save this video for future times in case you need a refresher on the proper form of a lunge.
We hope you enjoyed our how-to.
Bye!
Bye!